Imagine this. You log into your favorite online casino. Everything looks
Mm.
great, right? The layout feels intuitive, the colors pop, the games you like are right there at the top. It feels like it was made just for you.
It does. It feels very personal.
But what if I told you that every single time you log in, you are part of a massive, a continuous digital experiment?
And not just sometimes.
Exactly. Not occasionally. I mean,
Mhm.
literally every minute, every second, every single click and scroll is being watched and fed into this giant optimization engine.
That whole premise, which, it sounds like something out of a techno thriller. But our sources today show it's the absolute operational reality of the modern online gambling world.
Right.
This deep dive is all about how this continuous multivariable A/B testing has just exploded in this space. It's transformed these platforms into what you can only really describe as relentless digital laboratories.
And that's our mission for this deep dive, isn't it?
Yeah.
We want to pull back the curtain completely on this force that is quietly shaping the entire industry. We want to show you exactly how these platforms are using tiny, tiny micro details, every color, every word, every placement, not just to track you, but to constantly nudge and shape and, well, ultimately engineer your behavior.
You're going to realize just how much your experience is tailored, not, for your enjoyment, but for their optimized profitability.
So let's start with the basics, because A/B testing itself isn't some new scary thing. It's used everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Amazon, Netflix, newsletters. The core idea, what they call split testing, is super simple. You create two versions of something, let's say a button, version A and version B.
And you show A to one group, B to another.
Exactly. And then you just measure which one gets a better result. In the casino world, that almost always means which one makes more money. That's, digital marketing 101.
But the sources are really clear on this point. They say casinos take this basic idea and just launch it into a completely different universe.
They really do.
So how radical is that difference in scale? I mean, we're not just talking about a retailer testing a new shoe listing.
It's like the difference between doing one chemistry experiment in a lab once a week and running 100 different experiments all at the same time, continuously, 247.
100.
At least. They are not testing one button or one single banner in isolation. The scale is just enormous, and it's all happening simultaneously.
Okay, simultaneous. That's the key word here. So all these tiny little tests are running on the platform at the exact same moment for different people.
Precisely. They could be testing hundreds of these micro details from, like, the position of the jackpot counter to the color palette of the lobby all at the same time. It turns the whole platform into this continuous optimization engine where every single pixel has either already been optimized or is currently being optimized.
But wait, how does that even work? That sounds like a logistical nightmare. If you're running a test on a button color, doesn't that interfere with another test on a bonus structure? How do you isolate what actually worked?
That is the crucial technical question, and it's why these systems are so incredibly advanced. They use these really sophisticated machine learning models.
Mm.
So they use multivariate statistics to basically factor out any contamination. A user isn't just tagged as part of test A or test B. You're tagged as having received a specific combination of variables.
Like a recipe.
Exactly, a
Right.
recipe, A1, B3, C2, and so on. The algorithms then process millions and millions of data points to figure out which specific variable or which combination had the strongest link to a positive outcome.
And a positive outcome means a deposit or just playing for longer.
Yes, it's a continuous, self-correcting statistical exercise. It never stops.
Okay, that makes sense. So the platform is constantly learning and adjusting itself. Let's get practical, though. Let's use that scenario from the sources to show what this actually looks like for you, the person logging in.
This is where that illusion of a single fixed platform just completely breaks down. We need to picture what the sources call the identical players test.
Right. So picture this. Two players. They log in at the exact same moment. And for all intents and purposes, they're identical. Same country, same age group. They even have the same historical deposit size.
The platform sees this instantly. It recognizes them as perfect test subjects and splits them into two different branches of a test funnel.
And the sources show they immediately start pulling two core levers. First up, the button test. A classic. Player 1 sees a green Deposit Now button at the top of their screen. Simple, clear. But player 2, in the exact same spot, sees a bright yellow button. And the text is different. It says instant bonus.
And what's being tested there is so nuanced. It's not just green versus yellow. It's color and psychology.
How so?
Well, green often suggests safety, forward motion.
Yeah.
Yellow especially online, often signals urgency or a warning or an immediate reward. The casino is measuring which psychological lever, the safety of just depositing or the urgency of claiming a bonus, makes a user click faster and commit more money.
And it doesn't even stop there. The variables keep going. They could be testing the actual bonus at the same time.
Exactly right. Player 1, who saw the safe green button, might get an offer for 10 free spins with, let's say, standard wagering requirements. That's the baseline, the control group.
But player 2, who just saw that urgent yellow instant bonus button, gets hit with what looks like a much better offer.
It does look better.
Yeah.
Player 2 is offered 12 free spins. That's a higher number, so it immediately triggers that internal feeling of getting more value.
But there's a catch.
Of course. That higher number comes with a much longer wagering requirement, maybe 50% higher than the industry standard, so it's much harder to actually withdraw any winnings.
So they're testing perception versus reality. Are players more drawn to the big headline number, the 12 spins, even if the fine print makes it harder to actually profit?
That is the entire point. Both of these players think they're making a rational choice. But the core insight here is that they're just test subjects. The casino's figuring out which setup, low risk, low reward versus high perceived value, high commitment, leads to the most profitable behavior in the long run.
They're optimizing for stickiness.
Stickiness and, maximizing the chance that you'll chase that little bit of extra value they dangle in front of you.
Okay, let's pivot to the data. Because to feed this optimization beast, you need a ton of it. And it goes way beyond just what button you clicked. We're talking about really granular behavioral tracking.
Yeah, if you look at the scope of digital surveillance here, the tracking list is, well, it's invasive by design. They are meticulously recording everything you do, turning your every interaction into a stream of data.
We're talking about things like how long you just stare at a game's thumbnail image.
Correct. Dwell time. They track that on each game.
Yeah.
With specific games make you pause. The exact time of day you tend to deposit, how often you click on the jackpot tab, and even things as granular as your scroll speed.
Your scroll speed? How fast I move my mouse wheel. Why on earth would that matter?
Well, think about it like this. In a real casino, a pit boss watches your body language. Are you getting restless? Are you lingering at a certain table?
Right. Are you getting frustrated?
Exactly. This is the infinitely more precise digital version of that. A fast, erratic scroll speed, or a sudden pause, or going back to the home screen over and over. Those can all indicate indecision or frustration or excitement. They're all behavioral markers that predict what you're about to do next.
And they don't just sit on this data, they use it immediately. The sources detail something they call the hesitation test.
The hesitation test is that immediate manipulation loop. If the system notices a player hesitates on a certain slot game, so you hover your mouse or you just pause your view for more than, say, 2 seconds.
Just 2 seconds.
That's all it takes. That hesitation triggers an automated intervention.
And the intervention is that the slot magically moves to the very top of your homepage the next time you log in.
Precisely. But here's the really critical distinction. This little nudge isn't necessarily because the algorithm thinks, oh, he really likes that game. It's because they are testing how quickly they can convert that tiny spark of interest, that 2-second hesitation, into a kinetic action, into you pressing spin. They're just optimizing the path from interest to conversion.
So the goal isn't really to predict my favorite game. It's to predict and then minimize the steps between my momentary interest, my next financial action.
That's it. It's the highest form of behavioral engineering. And it extends into, well, the most sensitive emotional territory there is, how you deal with losing.
Which brings us to testing loss reactions. The sources call it the comfort bonus. And this seems to tap directly into a player's emotional state when, things are going badly.
And this strategy is incredibly calculated. They are specifically testing how different digital nudges affect a player who is on a losing streak, which is, a moment of high emotional vulnerability.
They want to know the best way to stop that person from just closing the browser.
Yes. And the specific intervention the sources detail is a surprise pop-up. If you lose enough spins in a row or you hit a certain net loss, you suddenly get an unexpected offer.
Like, feeling unlucky, here are 15 free spins to boost your mood. It looks like a nice gesture.
It looks like it. But the sources are so clear on this. It's absolutely not kindness. It is not generosity. It is cold, calculated data collection. They're just gathering information to make their retention models better.
But how is that different from just basic customer retention? I mean, don't all companies try to keep their customers?
It's retention deployed as a scientific test. The variables are everything. They're not just giving a bonus. They're testing the timing, the size, and the messaging of that bonus.
So Group A gets the bonus after 5 losses, Group B gets it after 10.
Or Group C gets a $5 credit instead of spins. They want to answer these questions empirically. Does this comfort bonus make you go back to your own money and play longer? Does it make you chase the next win? Or, does it fail and you leave anyway?
By mapping out how players react to losing, they learn exactly when and how much comfort is needed to keep someone in the game.
It lets them understand the elasticity of a player's distress. And the genius trick, the big takeaway from all this, is that after thousands of these tests on millions of players, the casino learns that human behavior is, well, depressingly predictable.
Our reactions follow patterns.
Clear, measurable patterns.
Yeah.
And those critical, seemingly spontaneous decisions to deposit again, to try a new game, to just stay logged in, they can all be reliably nudged and controlled by simple digital design, not by force. Just the right pixel at the right moment of vulnerability.
That really brings the whole operation into focus. So what does this all mean for the listener, for the person who's going to log in and play tonight?
I think the central lesson, the main takeaway is this. Nothing you see in that online casino is random. Nothing.
Not the games they show you, not the banners.
Not the colors, and absolutely not the bonus offers. Every single pixel you see is the result of a test. A test you were completely unaware you were even a part of.
So your whole role as a player is it's fundamentally redefined.
You're not just a customer having some fun. You are data. You are a statistic. You are, for all practical purposes, a living test subject inside one of the most advanced digital laboratories in the world.
Wow.
The whole platform is just continuously optimizing itself based on your tiniest reactions, always looking for the setup that makes them the most money.
And that leads right into the final, really provocative thought our sources leave us with. Casinos, in this endless pursuit of profit, they don't just gamble with money anymore. They are actively gambling with the predictability of our own human actions. They're running constant experiments on your hesitation, your reaction to losing, and how you calculate value in your head.
And by knowing exactly how you'll react under pressure, the house always tests to make sure it wins the long game.
The game of behavioral control. The digital actions you think are your own spontaneous choices, they're probably the most predictable part of your entire day.